you mentioned the things that you're doing on the side, your side hustles. One, other than being a type A personality, why do you need side hustles, like in your opinion?
Uh, I mean, I'm big on FIRE. So for
Okay.
those of you who know about FIRE, financially independent, retire early. Not that I necessarily want to retire early, but I like the concept that if,
Freedom is good.
yeah, if my boss pisses me off or my company pisses me off, now I have the opportunity to say, all right, see ya. Like, I don't care. I don't need this job. I have all this other income coming in from these other sources. So that's why I do it. And also I think it's fun. Like I like to try different things. And if it sticks and I enjoy it, then I keep it going. If I don't enjoy it, then I'll still try to keep it, but like try to make that more passive if I can.
Okay. And so you mentioned you have several side hustles.
Yeah.
Do you have a list? Can you list them out?
Um, yeah, so I I did really good on Amazon in 2021. I did pretty good on Amazon last year. So I sell some stuff on Amazon. I've sold stuff on Etsy for about 3 or 4 years, which does decent now. When I talk about when you don't enjoy it anymore, try to make it passive. I have a family member that manages Etsy for me now. So she handles all the customer service. It's actually my aunt. And she handles shipping all of my product as well. And we just split everything 50-50. I just don't care about the business. And it helps her out because she needs the money. And then I'm still collecting like, I think it's like 10 or 20,000 I'll probably make in profit for the year. So it's still pretty decent. So do those two things. I have a real estate portfolio. So right now I have 4 properties. 2 are rented. One's a duplex, one's a condo. The other condo is the one I live in right now. And then in October, I bought, uh, it's kind of like a duplex, but it's a main house with a accessible dwelling unit and EDU in the back. And I'm renovating those both to Airbnb hopefully soon.
Nice.
Oh, and I also teach. So I'm a technical sales instructor at Careers. So that was more recent. I started that in November.
All right. Well, I guess the obvious question is, how do you find time to do all that?
That's the question everyone asks. I don't know. My wife says I don't find time and I need to get rid of some of these other things, which she's not wrong about. Yeah, you just do it. You figure it out. Again, if you can make it passive, that's the best way to approach it. So, like real estate, I have a property in Gainesville. I live in West Palm. For context, I think it's like 5 hours away. I got a property manager that manages that. So I literally do nothing for that and I collect a paycheck. For Etsy, again, Etsy managed by a family member. So I don't have to do anything for that anymore. Amazon, this is a long story and I don't want to get into it, but
That's fine.
it's managed by a friend of mine now, so he handles that for me. So I've been able to slowly, like, I mean, I have less margin now as far as profit, but I have more time in my day, which is at the end of the day what I need by leveraging other people and having them manage it on my behalf. So truly making it passive.
Okay. By the way, I love real estate as well. We talked about that last time. We kind of
Yeah.
shared stories about what I own and what you own. So I 100% love that. I pretty much love everything you've done. The the question that pops in my mind, like when you talk to hiring managers or recruiters,
Mhm.
do you mention all this stuff or do you just ignore it?
Yeah, to recruiters, maybe not, unless they ask me, because some of them are listed on my resume, like the stuff that's more technically focused. I have it listed on my resume, and then they'll ask because they'll be naturally curious. But when it comes to hiring managers, yeah, I'm a big proponent when somebody says, "Tell me about yourself," to truly tell somebody about yourself. I think our culture nowadays is when somebody asks you about yourself, you just list your job history, which doesn't really tell them about anything about yourself. That's not what's going to make you stick out. What's going to make you stick out is, your personality, your why. Why are you even working? Do you have a family you care about? What do you like about where you live, your hobbies, your side hustles, your volunteer work? And it's amazing when you share that stuff. That ends up being the bulk of your conversation, especially the initial one with the hiring manager. So I always bring up all that stuff.
So I work with clients, and I tell them, I say the same thing as you, and
Yep.
sometimes their question is, well, like, aren't the managers worried that I'm gonna go leave and go full time onto my real estate or whatever? Like, what do you think?
I've
Why
never
do
run
managers
into
like it?
Yeah, I've had every single manager I've had have, they've been inspired by it. And they'll actually ask questions and be like, how can I do this? They're never afraid that because I'm doing these other things that I'm going to leave. Like I'm applying there for a reason and I'm interviewing there for a reason. It's not making me that much money where I can't have a day job and I need insurance. So it's never been an issue for me.
Well, I think the big thing that I try to show is, even though I'm doing all this stuff on the side, I still love sales engineering.
Oh yeah.
Why I want to stay, like, sales engineering becomes a passion, less a job,
Mhm.
because I have the luxury of picking what I want, kind of.
Yeah.
So that's how I try to formulate it when I talk to hiring managers, because they see we DSEs as well. They know about real estate sometimes. So yeah, most managers love the fact that you're doing that, because in every job description there's the, like, oh, you need to be a self-starter. It's in every job description. You need to be
Hmm.
held accountable. You need to be able to figure out stuff. That's proof that you've done all that in real life.
Yeah. Yeah, I had that. I actually just had my annual review today. Well, sort of. It was last week, but it wasn't ready. So it was primarily today. And that was one of the primary objectives was that I was ranked on is, hey, are you a go-getter? Because that's so important as an SC is not always having to be told what to do. You just do it yourself and you think of unique ways to solve for a business need or how you can get your company out there. And I think naturally, if you show, hey, I'm a go getter in these other aspects of my life, that's just a trait that's innate within you. So when you end up being somebody that's being hired for that role, I think your hiring manager will just expect that that trait will transfer to being a sales engineer.